everyone, so yesterday in my last vlog I talked about the phone rule at the college, and today I'm going to talk about a situation that I think it's not as much of a current issue where I live right now, but I became aware that it was still an issue, I guess, when I was over there. And I really never think much about seeing people who look different on the outside together, because everyone's the same on the inside, so I just never really thought about that. And that's just how I've been raised, and that's just what I believe. I'm very non-judgmental, especially about how people look on the outside. Anyway, so one day at the dorm, all of us girls were just sitting and talking, just typical girl talk, and we were talking about a conference that a few of the girls had been to a few years ago. And one of the girls said something about like a guy that she was interested in and that, she thought was cute. And another girl, she made some comment like, oh, but that's never gonna work out because, And I was like, why wouldn't it work out? And she was like, because he is of a different race. She made that comment, and I just almost could not believe that she said that. And I kind of just let it go, because I was really in shock that someone actually felt that way, that I had met somebody who was like that. Later, when I was working with the girl who had talked about the guy that she liked, did so-and-so really say that, because I thought I misheard her maybe, I was giving her the benefit of the doubt that maybe that's not what she meant. And the girl said the family over there, they felt that way about people, and they didn't approve of mixed marriages or mixed relationships. Pretty much they felt that because the cultural differences, so it wasn't just about skin color, it was more about cultural differences, that those two types of people wouldn't be compatible for a marriage or for a relationship. I believe that if two people are Christians, again, just that will kind of surpass anything. It goes above and beyond any cultural differences. So for me to hear that was crazy to hear, because my parents are from two different cultures. I've almost had to say that has really made me to be an interesting person, and I really appreciate how I grew up and hearing like different stories and just how different things were, and I really enjoyed that. And I feel like I had a great childhood, and I love my dad's family, I love my mom's family. They both have great things about them, and each culture had something to bring to the table, and I think it was a beautiful unity. Anyway, so back to the story. Later, I called my mom once I found out that the pastor there felt that way. I was really bottling it up for a while, and I was trying to reconcile it to myself, even though I knew I came from a multi-ethnic background. I called her and I was like, Mom, I found out that over here they really don't think that, two different people from two different nationalities or ethnic backgrounds should be together. And I just told her I was feeling, for the first time in a long time, because it was something that I felt really strongly about, and it was something that I really couldn't keep to myself, and I really wanted to tell her what was going on. I said, Mom, I feel like I'm some kind of lesser person to them because of where I come from. I feel like to them, I'm not as good of a person as them. I just felt horrible. It was a horrible feeling, and I really hope that no one has to feel that way. It is such a horrendous feeling to feel like you're less of a person. It really makes me feel for people who face that every day. I can't imagine going through that all the time. It's just horrible. To think that somebody is judged because of how they look is just awful. And I think, as Christians especially, we should be above that, and we should really see people for people. We shouldn't look at the outside and assume things about them and assign stereotypes to them. I think that is wrong. I'm very passionate about that, but for me, instantly, I think that was the moment when I decided I couldn't be a part of this anymore. The other girls, of course I had to have this conversation around everyone there. So, I was crying, I was angry, I was yelling. This is the first time that they had seen me be like this. And at that point, I didn't even care about the rules. I just let it all out to my mom, and I was sobbing because I love my parents and I love who they are. And, I think they're both beautiful people. And, I think everyone is beautiful in their own way. It was definitely a wake-up call for me that there were people in America who still felt that way. I mean, no matter who you are, where you're from, who your parents are, where they're from, what you look like, that does not determine what type of person you are. And no one is better than anybody else. We are all at the same level. We are all imperfect people, so trying to survive and trying to live and trying to be happy in an imperfect world. And no one has the right to judge another person for any of those things. Because when it comes down to it, we're all exactly the same. And we all struggle with the same things. So to go back to the story, because I was in front of everybody and I kind of just blew up about everything on the phone, the dorm supervisor pulled me aside and she was like, I don't know what's going on, but I texted the pastor and you have a meeting with him tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, I will go to the meeting, but you're coming with me, because I definitely wanted that other person there. So I insisted that the dorm supervisor go with me to the meeting. So I went to the meeting and he said, I'm not a racist and my family's not racist. And he tried to justify what his own daughter had said. When you're dealing with people like that, they are probably raised that way. And at the time, this is a man. He is already set in his ways. There is nothing I can say to change his mind and to make him see that he's wrong. Nothing. So I smiled and, I left the meeting. I didn't argue with him. I didn't, yell at him or anything like that, because I could see that no matter what I said, it wasn't going to make a difference. So there was no use in arguing with him. And let me just mention that my entire time there, I never got one demerit. I didn't get in trouble at all, because, I was very respectful about the way they believed and the way things were run there. Because no matter how I felt, really, I had decided to go there on my own, and I chose to subject myself to those rules. So I needed to follow them. And I think that was I thought that was a really mature thing to do. But I couldn't stay there knowing that they believed that way. So I couldn't see how you could call yourself a Christian and you could, say you're out there to win souls and say that everybody should be saved when you don't believe that everybody should exist. So I will share more tomorrow. The story only gets crazier, but I don't want to take too much of your time up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.